start. Okay, good. Great, great, great. So is everyone having a good new year?
Yes, I am having a good new year. It
Good.
started so far. I hope it
Great,
continues.
great. And how about you, Benny?
Yes, it started good.
Good. And Salam?
Yeah, so far so good. Just in the
Good.
second day
Just
of the
one
new
day
year.
down.
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Well, good. Well, welcome everybody. Happy New Year to everyone. Obviously, welcome to our new teammate, Warahana, our senior grant writer. We're very excited to have you with us and have you join this team meeting for sure. So welcome.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So
Thank you, Presido. Yes.
Abbie or the residue works. No worries. Either one works.
yes. So I trust that you received the invitation for the meeting today, okay, and you were able to see the agenda on there.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Great,
perfect.
great.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Any questions so far with anything? Any of the onboarding, any of the email, getting the files or anything? It seems like you've hit the ground running, so that's wonderful. We appreciate that, so that's good. But any concerns or any issues right now?
Not concerns per se. I just have a few questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, I wanted to set up an email signature. I don't know if you have a standard email signature you use, or I can just create something to use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I have at the bottom of mine, I have my signature. We kind of tried to standardize on that at one point.
Yeah.
Warahana, just so you know, I do have a whole onboarding checklist that I haven't gone through with you.
Okay.
So there'll be some additional things that we need to do. With regards to identification, even I think I need a picture of your Ghana card and some things, but I just haven't had a chance to do that. But I'll be working on that in the coming week. I'll take the action item to make sure that I reach out to you with that onboarding list so we can get these things all set up. The great question about the signature, as you'll be very forward facing to potential grantors, and so that'll be important. So I'll show you my signature, and if you think we should improve it, just let me know, and I'll be happy to change mine to better fit whatever it is you think, so that you look as professional as we need to look going forward.
I just
Okay.
dropped in Discord in the Grant Financial channel what I use for my signature. So that's what we currently do. But again, like
Okay.
Kevin said, more than welcome to change anything or formatting or whatever.
Okay. All right. And since before we get to the onboarding checklist, since I've started working on some documents, I see that you have a letterhead that you use for most of your documents. Not a letterhead, per se, but it's like a branded paper with the logo in the background,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Correct.
So we were just kind of looking at that with Abbie and I beforehand, as Abbie was going to introduce you to the Discord group, and she wanted to know what letterhead to use. Well, Benny has created one for us, which I think is
Okay.
great. If you have recommendations, again, to make us look even more professional in our outward facing role, please feel free to comment, and we can get Benny maybe to make some adjustments. But that PDF file, that PNG file, Benny, could you drop that in the, or actually, Benny, could you just send that right now over to Warahana in WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, because I think is what we found with the President just now. Welcome back, Salam.
Thank you.
So with regards to Warahana, your question about the letterhead is what we did just now that worked pretty well. And Benny, you can correct me as well, is we take the PNG file that Benny created of the letterhead, and then we go into Google Docs and we insert a watermark.
Okay.
and the watermark is the image of the letterhead, and then we
Mm-hmm.
don't fade the watermark so that the
Oh,
actual letterhead is on the document, and then the president was able to type her description there in the middle, and it looked really professional. It looked really nice as far as her letterhead goes.
okay. All right.
Benny,
Okay.
do you have any comments on that as far as how to do that, or is that the way you've been doing it? You sent out a PDF as well as a PNG, and I think with the Google Doc, it's just easier to use the PNG as a watermark. What are your thoughts?
Yes, it's actually easy to set the image as the background so that you type in with that the watermark would be visible. Just that one way that is still common for people here is the use of Microsoft Word, which the use of Microsoft Word, which I spoke about, but I think we settled on that we don't use Microsoft Word products. That one also you can have the image added to any Microsoft Word product, then you would have it done.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't. We have standardized on the Google Suite because they have our workspace. And Warahana, just so you know, all of the documents that you do create, if you could make sure that they're in your Warahana at Give Basic Needs account.
Yes. So I've created a folder in my basic needs Google Drive,
Uh-huh.
and I just shared it with you and Abby. So that document would contain all grant related documents. So strategy, any other document that I create related to grants will go into that folder.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect. And
Mm.
I wanted to be clear because so the way the licensing works, I want to just reiterate this all. The way the licensing works for the AI tools is it has to be based, we basically pay for a single user license, and then I
Okay.
share the notebook LMs with other people. And the way that I've done that is I have to share that with your personal Gmail account. I can't share that with the the Warahana, for example, at Give Basic Needs.
Okay.
So I've gone ahead and shared that with you and your personal account, but all of your documents, as you stated, that you create and are working on should be under your Warahana at Give Basic Needs account. So Benny and Salam, you should be aware of that as well. I made some changes to the Notebook LM sharing today. You may have gotten an email about that. I think Salam, you're all set now. Benny, I think you should be good too. If you have problems with the Notebook LM stuff, let me know.
Hmm. Okay.
And Warahana, you were able to get to it okay, correct?
Yes, yes. I was able to access it.
Okay, great. And there are two. So just to be clear, there's one that is kind of our knowledge base, which is
Yeah.
has literally everything about the organization, from our tax filings to our projects to our strategies, etc. And then the other one is specifically about the Northern Health Shield and the
Okay.
hubs and the RN entrepreneurs. So that's kind of the way those two are working. And I assume once we formalize the procedures that we want to move forward with, those final versions will be rolled into the knowledge base, and then it'll be back to one. But for right now, I split it off into two because the project is so large.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
great. And so, Benny, are you all good on the Notebook LM stuff? I want to make sure I didn't take you out of the sharing or something.
Yes, I received the links to
Okay.
the shared knowledge base. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're all good there. Perfect. And
Yeah.
Salam, you can get to it now, okay, too?
Yes, I received the links as well.
Great. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask, is the links that I just is that different from because I've been using it. So is this different from what I used to do?
No, it's the same. I just changed the sharing because I was leaving it public, as in anyone who had the link could access it.
Okay,
And I
okay.
think that's fine, but I think there's some strategic things with what Warahana is going to do right now around grants that we haven't done before that we might want to keep private. And
Yeah,
so,
sure.
I don't want that to be 100% public. So I just moved them both. I moved both of the notebook LMs to essentially individuals that I shared with, and I said it was restricted. So it's the same exact tools. It's just been restricted differently. Does that make sense, Benny?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Good question.
Any other questions, Warahana?
The other questions I have are related to the Northern Health Shield. So, if we have other things to discuss before we come to that, maybe I can hold on with my questions. If
Yeah.
not,
Okay.
then maybe.
Yeah.
That
So
would
that's
be,
good.
That would be
Yeah,
great.
we will. We'll continue on through the agenda, and then I know that is on the agenda, so we will get to that for sure.
Okay.
Let's see. You have something?
No, I was just going to say, and I'm going to take the action item to get you that onboarding list and continue to work through that Warahana
Okay.
with you over time. And yeah, that's good.
All right.
All right. So the celebration, we saw the video and the pictures of the volunteer celebration. That looked wonderful. How did it go? Give us a little debrief about it. Either Ben or Salam.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It was well attended, and we prepared for about 30 people,
Okay.
and we got almost that number because the MC for Gushigu Municipal, the mayor, attended with a colleague of his. We also had other volunteers who have been supporting us logistically, i.e., setting up canopies and other events logistics. So they also attended. People who, one way or the other, have been helping in our activities. And so we got, I didn't take account because people kept coming and others were leaving as and when they needed to attend to something. And
No problem.
so it overall, it went very well. I think we closed around almost 8 p.m. We started at about 5
Okay.
p.m. and we closed around 8 to 9 thereabouts. And we had a lot to drink and to eat. We killed 2 goats. We bought half a bucket of chicken, which was about 6 full chicken.
Okay.
And then we had varieties of local drinks. There's a popular woman in Tamale here who does some nice local setup. I'm sure if you go through the pictures, you will see it. So we contracted her, and she came. She equally supported because we couldn't. So she was charging us 2,500 cedis for the setup, almost $250.
Okay.
But because it was our first time, and then she also appreciates that we were just an NGO trying to do something for our volunteers. So she came on a $150 bill.
Nice.
So at the end of the day, it was an excellent get together. We had nice discussions. The MC really spoke very well. He appreciated Give Basic Needs and assured us of his continuous support. I also took the opportunity to brief the volunteers what we've done so far and what we intend to do. I called on the MC right there in the event to give us his supports and also facilitate when need be. at any given time to make sure that we are successful, especially given the fact that we are currently operating or carrying out most of our activities at his municipality. And it was well received, and he gave us his assurances.
Great.
Nice, wonderful.
Great. And Salam, if you I know there were individuals there from different groups. And how many nursing professionals do you think we ended up with? Did we end up with 5, 10 of the, say, 30 or 35 or 40 that attended? How many were nurses that could potentially, in your mind, based on now that, I mean, it's amazing that we're already all on the same page. Warahana, you've done an excellent job stepping up and understanding what it is we're trying to do with the Northern Health Shield and the impact that we're trying to have in the areas that we need grants for. So it's amazing that we can actually ask this question. But so great work on that, Warahana, coming up to speed so quickly. So Salam, if you looked at the people who came, do you see any RN entrepreneurs in there?
Yes, I would say a good number of them, because out of the, so in total we had about 21 health professionals.
Okay.
Some of them are nutritionists, but about 90% of them are registered nurses and midwives.
Okay.
And just about 3 of them are currently working.
Oh.
The rest are not engaged. They are not gainfully employed by any facility or the government. Just about 2 or 3 of them are equally currently offering their mandatory national services, and they would be done early this year as well. So yes, they actually were very impressed with the RN entrepreneur concept, and they all thought that is an opportunity. I think Ben informed me the following day that most of them had reached out to him, telling him that we shouldn't forget them in any of our activities going forward.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yes, so yeah, it was a concept that they really love, and I see a number of them that are willing and passionate to work regardless of the location.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
So they will be good RN entrepreneurs. There's a woman, I think we spoke about her. She should be in maybe her late 30s or early 40s,
Uh-huh.
and she's a registered nurse, but has since not been posted.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so continuously she keep reminding us that anytime we have an opportunity, we should let her know she's willing to work. And honestly, when we had the events, I observed her. She was totally committed.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. I would like to get both Warahana's feedback on what you said, Salam, and Ben's. But first, I want to ask that, Salam, you encourage her to work or to. So we're going to have this concept of a project. The person who goes out and does deliveries and keeps track of all the medications and all of this.
Kind of like the lead nurse.
Yeah, like the lead nurse. I don't know if this is what Zwara is going to do. I don't know if this individual is a candidate, but we need to definitely keep this individual that you've observed, as you said, in the forefront. So keep that in mind, her in mind, as we continue to talk about what it is we need to do to execute successfully.
Sure. I think the last time when we discussed this particular role, yeah, she actually stood out as a very strong candidate. So just like you said, we'll keep observing her, and then see.
Great.
I think she's matured enough to deliver. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Great.
Was your sister at the event, Salam?
Please say again.
Did your sister attend the event? Was she able to?
No, please. No, she was not able to.
Gotcha. I was just curious.
Okay.
So Warahana, were you able to attend the event?
So my
I mean,
my
it was
birthday
early.
was,
You weren't hired yet. I just wondered.
I went to Accra to celebrate my birthday, and then I just overstayed, so I couldn't attend the event.
Okay, it's no problem. Happy birthday. We didn't know.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And Benny, how about you? How did you feel the event went? And how do you feel about what Salam said regarding the availability of potential RN entrepreneurs in the group that actually attended?
Yeah, so the event went well. Before the event, I told Salam that since it's falling on a Christmas day, I was worried people would have their personal schedules to attend or their personal get together.
Uh-huh.
But at the end, they actually turned out very well,
Great.
which means that yeah, they are enthusiastic about what we actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was even one who reached out. He participated. He has ever participated in one of our events, but not the recent one.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he wanted to come. So I spoke with Salam and we said, yeah, it's fine. Since he has worked with us, we want more nurses on board. So he also came.
Great.
So yeah, the attendance was actually great, and the conversations that went on there actually lifted up their spirit, especially when the DC for Gushego Municipal spoke and he assured that they will do whatever they can within the district to support all activities of Give Basic Needs. Yeah. Then Salam also spoke about we introducing the new concept of RN nurses. I was actually seated by some ladies the time Salam was speaking. So they told me that I have their contact. So whatever we
Oh,
are, yes, we are about to do, I should make sure I get them on board.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful to hear that. It's very
Yeah.
good that you were there, Benny, to do just what you said, is to just observe the crowd as the idea came out, because you could tell and get a sense for the excitement in the room, if you would. And so it sounds like that's what you experienced.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's something the people are ready to go with to see, because it's something. It's actually I've been sitting down and thinking about how brilliant the idea is and how unique it is. So yes, so anyone who hears of it actually will understand that a lot of brainstorming and planning has been put into it, and they will definitely want to be part of the whole process. Yeah,
Great.
so it was actually great. Yeah.
Great.
Very
I'm
nice.
glad
Very
that it
good.
was well received. And Salam, excellent work putting the event together. It looked like everybody had a good time. Well deserved effort and rewards for sure. And thank you for making the delivery uh, memorable for everyone. And I think that that's great. Benny, the only thing I'd like to add is that if we could do a social media post on that, I think that would be great. What are your thoughts?
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah, I
think,
think it would be a great idea.
yeah.
Um, just to put that at the end of the year, we had a chance to meet with our volunteers to reflect and
Mm-hmm.
also brainstorm on the plans we have for 2026.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
great. And we can use it as a little bit of a teaser post, maybe, about the new plans and what we're thinking in 26.
All right, sure. Yeah, so I'll quickly write a draft and I'll share it with everyone before
Okay.
I finally post it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I think that's great. Thank you, Benny, for that. And I think that that's and Salam, like I said, excellent work on executing, and that's beautiful. Excellent work, everyone. Thank you.
For sure. Great job.
Thank you.
Hmm.
All right. Project data
I'm
cleanup.
sorry. One more thing, Benny. You took a picture of Salam. You're gonna know which one that it is as soon as I say it. He's holding a drink and he looks like he's about 12 years old. It's adorable. It's my favorite picture that you took. you know, you know this one, Benny.
Yeah, I'm sure I get the picture you're referring to.
Yeah. I love that one. It's so good.
Yeah.
You looked like you were so happy in that moment, Salam. It was beautiful.
Yes, I was.
Good. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, President.
No, that's okay. Project data cleanup. The spreadsheet creation required to fix data assignment. Map and the tamale data era.
Yeah,
Data
so
error.
this kind of goes along with the map work that Benny and I have been working on with Salam's help to clean up the data, because I'm going to give a quick overview so Warahana can maybe catch up in this area, as she had some questions and thoughts about it as well. So, is what we tried to do when we did a major rebranding with the new logo, the new slogan, all of that. That's all been done, rolled out, all of our websites, all of our socials. It looks really good, I think, and I think the president agrees. And when we did that, we redesigned the website and we tried to show the impact that we're having on the world by taking all of the geo coordinates from within. So now, Warahana, because this is internal talk, I'm gonna maybe mix ERP Next and Smiley. So you're aware that those are the same systems. One is just an internal name for ERP Next. Okay, great. So within Smiley, we captured all this mapping data, and the mapping data allows us to do our current homepage. In our current homepage, we felt that it was important to show our global impact. So we literally took the video, what we call our proof of effort picture, which is the one that has a geo coordinate snapshot on it, and the blog post, as along with the coordinates, and the dollar amount that was donated and the amount that was spent is on every one of those pinpoints on our map. And so we felt that this was a really good way to convey what our impact was globally in a real world sense, because people could click on it, they could watch the video, they could see the impact photo, they could read the blog, and they could see the dollar amounts with an option to donate then. So in doing that, there's a manual process that takes place where we generate a report out of Smiley that then essentially formats, and this is custom code that I wrote within the Smiley and within ERP Next, is it generates this report that then we import into a WordPress plugin to do all of that mapping and lay it all out. That I configured, etc. So is what we're in the process of discussing is how to do this update, because some of the data that Salam had entered was not in the right category. There were images that were missing. There were naming conventions that weren't adhered to, et cetera, et cetera. So we've done about maybe 5 giving event projects that are currently not on the map. And so my goal for the end of the year, which I didn't meet, but that's okay. I've been trying hard. We've been working hard on it, is to update the website map to show the most recent projects so that their pins are on the map. And the reason that I wanted to catch you up on all of that is because, one, there's a little bit more to clean up. Salam and I have some discussion that we need to take on about the sales invoices for some of the projects, in that the dollar amounts didn't seem to line up. I think Benny's got all of the projects categorized properly, all of the images linked, all of the videos. I think we're just dealing with a couple sales invoices that we need alignment on projects with Salam, and the data will be ready. But the reason I'm bringing all this up is because Warahana, as part of her strategic initiative for setting a strategy for us moving forward with our grants, brought up the fact that our website might need to be redone.
Yes.
If I heard what you're saying correct, Warahana.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and so Warahana, can you elaborate just a little bit on what your thoughts are on redoing the website as far as why we need to change what we have currently?
Okay. Let me see if I can quickly share my screen.
Great.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it looks great.
The number one issue that I have with the website is the layout, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see the header part of the website.
Mm-hmm.
The header is almost taking more than half of the screen, but
Okay.
that's just supposed to be like the header, like the menu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we might have to rework the layouts for here, make the logo a bit better. And I think the logo is looking very big because the menu items have sort of
Yeah.
moved on to the next line instead of all of it being in one line.
Yeah.
See? So yeah, we would have to rework the menu.
Okay.
I'm also thinking of, okay, this graph is really good. It's very good to give you like a complete overview of what works has been done. But then when I came to the website, I immediately didn't understand how to even navigate the map or what the map does.
Yeah.
The map is good, right? We can maintain it, but let's still add more like standalone cards of the various works that we've done.
Okay.
Let's add more images, right? Let's add more of the impacts that we've done in a way that someone scrolling would just see it at a glance.
Okay.
And the I don't know if it's this is part of the logo, right? The yellow
It,
in the background.
yeah, that's we call it the swoosh or the swoop,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, that's kind of like one of the like the hand and the swoosh were part of it, and so we put that in the background.
Okay. I think it's good to maintain it in the background, but let's reduce the opacity of it. Like
Okay.
maybe put a bit of an overlay over it
Okay.
so that it's not really overpowering the text on the
Hmm.
website.
Right.
The focus is on the text, like the contents of the website, not this yellow thing in the background. When
Right.
we go, so here I would have loved that we'll have like a slim menu, like a header.
Uh
We
huh.
have like a hero with an image of like an image of one of our activities. It could be a woman happy because you've given her food or money or anything,
Uh huh.
and with this message, right?
Hmm.
So that would serve as the hero section.
Uh huh.
And then we can even have like the mission vision still here.
Okay.
Then we show some of the projects that we've worked on in various cards,
Hmm.
right? We will still maintain the map is a good concept, but we'll add the various cards. Then we would have like an obvious donate button in a call to action, like somewhere around the footer.
Okay.
Yeah. And then since the menu is not really sticking, this is not a sticky menu, right? What we could do is we could still have some of the menu items, like the important menu items in the footer.
Okay.
Kevin, I'm speaking very technical. I don't know if everyone is
No, no,
following.
no. It's no. It's all good. It's all good. No, it makes sense, and I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you for sure. It's all very good. No, if it's okay. The people who need to know are listening.
Okay. So when we come to what's at stake page, there's really not a lot of information here.
Right.
And I think this is really the page that we should demonstrate the problem that we're trying to solve, right? Like what's at stake?
Okay.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
So this page should really demonstrate the problem that we are trying to solve. Let's add more images. It could be an image that's just depicting someone going through the problem that we're trying to solve, right?
Uh huh.
We can even take some of the people that we've supported. put it in ChatGPT to generate like an image around that concept for us to use on the website. Yeah. So this page, I wanted to really demonstrate like the problem we are trying to address.
Okay.
The why it works page. Let's see. Okay, let me see how it
So
works.
I think as what I let me just recap what you're saying is that is that for us to be successful with our grants,
Yeah.
we should rework this website.
Yes.
And we should rework it in a way that includes, I mean, Warahana, as far as I'm concerned, this could be like your first major task is to like literally, I mean, because you have the skills, you're not, while you're a grant writer, this could be an initial task that you literally put together at our entire website to read the way you want it to, because you're going to be writing grants. Now, I don't know if you've got a lot of research to do before that happens, or if you've all got it all figured out. Is what I was trying to get at was, is the work we're doing around the map something we want to continue to do? Or do you feel like the map, we should, while it's amazing, it doesn't belong on the website at all? I don't know. I'm just trying to short circuit if what Salam and Benny and I have been trying to do is to clean up this map is still warranted.
Yes, I like this map. I like the concept of the map, right?
Okay.
So we will definitely maintain it.
Okay. It just needs
Yeah.
to be put on a different page, maybe, or in a different location.
Kind of organized.
It needs to be organized different.
Yeah, so we can still keep it on the home page, right?
Okay.
But just in case, so for the benefit of those who may not be able to really navigate the map,
Yeah.
we can still have some of the things we are trying to convey in the map in cards, like various cards or something that can easily be seen on the website. Person reads it and then they understand.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna ask. So let's stop for just 1 second. You keep sharing your screen, but so Salam, do you understand what needs to change, or have the problems been changed with the sales invoices on that project that was showing that we essentially had more donated than we actually did, or do we still have a problem there?
Yes, so I have attached the invoice or receipts to the purchase invoice.
Okay.
And yeah, so I believe that why probably you thought that way because you forgot that prices of the test case had gone up. In fact, when I went through the receipts, I realized that we spent almost $6,000 on test case alone, and our media budget was about was 2,105, but that came with an air ticket, a round trip air ticket, which was $360. So if you look at the media cost alone, it was about 2,350. Though we're able to make some savings there, I was able to save about $40 because the media, I was able to get some of them cheaper than we actually budgeted.
Okay.
Yes, and then because this event was also in the office, unlike when we do events in the community.
I'm sorry, just one comment. So just so everybody's on the same page, this is referring to Project 75, which was our last one at the office. Go ahead, Salam. Sorry.
Yes. So because this event also was at the office, unlike when we used to do at the communities, where we use mostly we rely on furniture from the schools in the communities. But this time around, we had to rent tables we had to rent chairs, we had to rent canopies, and then food. We bought some supplies like gloves, cotton, spirits, or if you like it, I think sanitizer. That's
Uh-huh.
the right word.
Yeah.
And so all of that and the logistics, the carriage cost, and all of that also came to about $1,680. So if you add that to the media, we are around 4,230.
Okay.
So plus the test case, that's 10,630. So we had a balance of $50, but then I think the $50 equally went into the event or some miscellaneous.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I've attached the receipts.
Great.
The for the sales invoice. So what happened was that after we received the HIV test case, I contacted the wholesaler we've been buying test kits from, and he said he doesn't have HIV test kits. So I couldn't get the wholesale prices. The price I quote for the HIV was prices I got at the pharmacy, and that's usually the retail prices. And mostly retail prices for test kits are usually very expensive than the wholesale price, sometimes 100% margin. So I think that's what sort up the sales invoice price to about 5,700 or so. I can't remember the fact. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
great. Well, thanks for doing all that research, and I appreciate that in-depth knowledge about how the funds were spent for Project 75. And that's definitely helpful. Yeah, thanks for doing that. And I think so. Salam, I'm still working with Benny. I want to check with Ben really quick. Benny, are you good with all of the data within the report now? Or are you good? Have you cleaned up all the projects regarding the map that you know and you can?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it was exported with all the comments that indicated issues that needed to be resolved, I think for all that I attended to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that. And so I will go through and assume that everything is good until I find something that I need questions on, and we'll continue to work through that. Now that Warahana has agreed that the map is part of our future and we're going to keep it, we need to get it updated. And so I'm gonna keep that as my action item now, is to continue to cleanse the data and update the mapping software on the website. And now Warahana, I think you can see our website is, if you could really quick, I'll just explain to you the way that we're going with it so that you can then know our understanding and change it however you feel is going to get us the most grants or be as clearly conveyed. So the first thing there is what's at stake. If you click on that and scroll down. So the reason that this looks light is because this is a blog post. So is what I've been trying to do with Benny's help is every quarter I try to write a report explaining what's going on in our world as a nonprofit operating in the world as it is. And so this first one was about the fading lifeline, right? The impact of U.S. aid cuts. And so this was a blog post that Benny did for us, and it took on a separate tag that allows it to show up here under this heading. Okay, so I now have written the second report, which is about the health hubs. And so that would be posted as a blog post that would show up here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Benny. And then Benny would do 5 subsequent social media posts to highlight the information in the blogs, in that report blog that I've just distributed here. So it's a kind of a, I write the paper, give it to Benny, he puts it in as a blog post after we agree on it, and then we highlight it here, and then he does 5 subsequent social media posts highlighting it. So is what I'm wondering is, so I wanted to explain that to you. Benny, is that correct in the way that we're working it?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And then
So,
go ahead.
sorry, did we have a blog post highlighting maybe the problem in 2025 as at the end of 2024? Do we have this blog post at the end of every year, just evaluating the problem in the coming year?
No, I kind of, these quarterly reports that I've been writing have just
Okay.
been that, on topics of importance, like the USAID cuts. Now the fact that essentially we have all of these unemployed nurses, and that the health hubs are a way to solve these major problems with us moving from essentially this test model to a treat model. So it's kind of like an overall focal direction that I've trying to been doing quarterly, and it's been going under here.
Okay.
So then if you scroll back to the top and you look at the menu, but the menu. Yeah, so the how it works kind of just explains, the why it works. Just kind of explains our overall theory of why happy works. That scientifically happy people do solve more problems, and they make bigger contributions, right? So this was kind of the why, because the why is important. And so that's what that is. That if you go back up to the main menu, you'll see we had the how it works. This explains essentially us doing giving events, but this does not explain the concept of the health hubs and the Northern Health Shield. So this would need to be reworked. And then if you scroll back up, the last thing I want to share is that under the donate totally needs to be redone. That's just a given. But if you go under info, you'll see that giving events is all of our blog posts. These are the ones that Benny does independently for every, right? So this was our latest one. This is Project 75. This first one right here, Tamale Medical Outreach, right? So essentially, Benny then writes the blog post for the event. He does all the imaging. He does all the compliance on the for the process, and he does the social medias for those.
Okay.
And so this is kind of where we highlight our giving events, but this doesn't highlight anything. These are like internal giving events. These are not grant opportunities. Grant work that we've done. So I don't know if we commingle those, if we separate those. Totally up to you as the designer on how you want to highlight those. I mean, the people that use our website, I mean, our target website user is kind of transitioning, and this is why when you pointed it out, I was immediately realized that we need to make a shift. Is that we kind of wrote our current website for the individual who wanted to see if we were real. And now I think I hear you saying that it's great, everybody knows we're real now in Ghana, but we need to be real to the grantors, the people that we're asking for money from.
Right.
And that's a different market than that's a different user who's using our website than what has happened in the past.
Yes.
And so I think that's why the shift is needed, based on your recommendations, so that we can target those donors, those big donors, the grantors, um,
Mhm.
with our website now, as opposed to trying to say justify our actions to the Internal Revenue Service in the U.S. saying that we're a legitimate 501c organization.
Okay.
So that's kind of the history of the website. Benny, please comment and give us your feedback right now as to what you're thinking um, about what Warahana is talking about and what I've said, and make sure that that's all the way you understand it as well.
Yes. So what I understand is, I think what Hannah wants us to have the website in a way that anyone who opens it will be touched with our story in a way without having to click a lot of buttons or navigate through a lot of pages. Initially, we had it designed in a way that we want to have all our projects data stored, all events that we've executed, we want it to be there, all papers we have written, and also the map, so that anyone can just click and it takes you to the location of the projects. Also providing information as to how much was spent on the projects. Basically just some information regarding a particular project. Yeah, so that is how the our website operated from the beginning. But with what I understand, with the suggestion coming, that means it's necessary we add some features to it, since we might be targeting more audience, because when we apply for grants, maybe some would just want to have an overview of our website,
Mhm.
to see what we're actually doing. And now we want to have it in a way that they wouldn't have to navigate a lot to for us to carry out the message to them, like just on the scrolling through our homepage alone would be. So I think I understand the angle she's coming from, and also I understand how we formally, or how it had been till date. Yes,
Good.
and I yes, yes, and I
Mm.
think any changes that would be towards helping us in our new endeavor, I think it would be great. Yeah, so far as we still have all this data there, I don't think we would be removing most, or we'll be getting rid of what we have. It's just about adding a layer or changing it in a way that will suit to more of the audience that we expect to come onto the website.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct, Ben. Yes. So yeah, just like you said, right? So better layouts, easy to navigate, a website that really tells a story, like the problems we address in some of the works that we've done, right? Like a grantor, most of them, the first place they actually go to is your website. There are instances where you apply for a grant, you submit a very long document, and the first place they will come to is actually your website. And when they come there, um, just even on the homepage, they should have a good amount of information about what you do, because they're really interested in what you do, the problem you're solving. Are you really solving the problem? So basically, the website will just be revamped in that way, right? Yeah, but then there's a lot of good information here. There's a lot of information on this website. We just have to rework it and present it in a better way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I totally agree, and I think that in the back of my mind, I think probably in the back of Benny's mind as well, is that when we did the logo redesign, we knew we needed to rework the website, and we took a sort of a half-hearted effort with the USAID paper and changing the menu items to be what's at stake, why it works, and how it works. We added those sections in an effort to try to move in the direction we needed to go. What we didn't do is what we did do with the logo, which is to step back and look at all of it and say, okay, where do we want to start? Who's the target audience? And let's rework the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Warahana, with the movement towards grants, I think I hear Benny and myself for sure, and I think the president do as well, that it's time now to take the new logo, put it with a completely redesigned website, that highlights exactly what you want to display to that person who shows up as a grantor to see and how they can quickly be informed about what it is we're doing and how we're really solving the problem.
Yes. Mm.
So really
Okay.
quick, so President, do you agree with that?
I do.
You do? Okay. And Benny, you agree as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then Salam, do you have any comments or thoughts on what we've said?
Yes, I agree. I agree with the new direction. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. So I think Warahana is what I can do for you. I would. So we've got all this data out there, right? You can see it all in this website. We really haven't deleted anything, and so I'm going to continue to update the map. I'm taking the action item to update the map data, and that comes directly from our purchase invoices, our sales invoices, right out of Smiley into the website or into that data. And so I'm going to continue to work that and take that action item is what I'd like you to do. While it may not be a full blown grant writing role right now, is to come up with the website that you want us to have.
Okay.
Is that something that you're willing to take on?
Yeah, sure. So what we'll do is we would maintain this website,
Mm-hmm.
and I will build the new website on a test domain. I have a service running on Hostinga, so I'll put it there.
Okay.
And then when I'm done, we make all the changes that we need to make. And then when we are ready to migrate, then we'll just move the files to where the website is being hosted so that there's no break. Because once I start building it here, then we'd have to put it under construction, and I don't want to do that.
Exactly. I totally agree. And I can help you more than I have the infrastructure piece down as well. So I can,
Okay.
if you want me to, I can clone the current website and you can modify it on a new domain. I'll just create, is what we typically do is we create like n.basicneeds.org. I create a subdomain and then I build a WordPress site there and I can import everything that is currently part of the current site there. So all of the blog posts, all of the everything, and then you can modify it. And at some point, we just cut n dot over to the givebasicneeds.org site, as you said, so there's no break.
Oh, okay. Where is this website hosted?
It's hosted on Ionis.
Ah.
1N1 is our host provider, and we have a server there, so I can spin up another complete WordPress instance if we want to, because we host the server there.
Is it a VPS server?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Then maybe you can create another like container or instance of a WordPress server for me, so that I'll just then maybe you give me the admin login.
Yeah.
And I'll work on it.
So tell me this: do you want a clone of what we currently have?
No, I don't want a clone. I just want a blank WordPress setup.
Okay.
Like a fresh WordPress setup.
And here's my only concern, and I have to look to Benny for this because I'm really not this skilled, and you may be, Warahana, but I don't want, I want to be cautious of deep links to pages specifically that are identified as part of Google searches and that Google has indexed.
Okay.
So I'm happy to create from scratch a brand new WordPress instance and let you have it. But my concern is that I want those deep links to also work.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. So I would make sure that I use the same links you see here. When we go to what's at stake, you see is / what's at stake. So I'll make sure I use the same permalinks.
Okay.
So that we don't have a break in the indexing from Google.
Okay. And my only concern, and the reason that I would suggest we clone the current instance is because of all of the blog posts that currently exist and their deep linking. So if you go to info, for example,
Okay.
and go to info and then drop down giving events and click
Okay.
on that, you'll see each of these blog posts could be individually deep linked. If you scroll down a little bit and you click on this, each of these blog
Okay.
posts could be deep linked.
Okay.
And
I
so,
get you. Okay.
yeah, and so
Okay.
what I don't want to do is I don't want to unlink any blog post that somebody on a third party site or Google indexed.
Okay. Then you can create a clone of it for me. I
Okay.
would definitely use a different template,
Yeah.
but we'll still maintain the blog post and
Yeah.
all
Okay.
of that. Yeah.
So is what I'll do is I will assume I'll do a complete clone into a new instance, give you admin, and then you rework what you need to rework, whether it's theme based or whatever it is. And then, like we said, that'll allow all of the deep links for all of the blog posts to be present and maintained,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
and you to completely rewrite the whole site.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll also take and continue to work on the map functionality, and you can embed that wherever it is you want.
Yeah. Is it just okay? This is even WordPress, right? So you added an HTML element and then you pasted a code for the map there.
Yeah, you'll see that. Yeah,
Okay.
it
All right
essentially.
then. Yeah.
I think it's a. I'm not a WordPress guy, but I think it's like a short code.
Okay. Okay. That works. Yeah.
Yeah, for the map, and then the map data itself is managed inside. So I will work on cloning. I'll take the action item to clone the current website for you to a new instance, and then that'll allow you to get the admin and begin to customize the interface so that it appeals to grantors who may be funding us with grants.
Okay. All right.
And Benny, really quick, do you see any concerns with regards to us cloning the current site and making sure those deep links are all still working?
No, I think my concern is what you raised. Since we had a lot of individual links,
Uh-huh.
so yes, to the blog, making sure that we still have them indexed was actually my issue. Yeah,
Okay. Great,
yeah.
great.
But
So
if we can have a way around that, it's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think by just fully cloning it is the right way to
Mhm.
do that. And then, Benny, you be our. So I'm gonna do the initial work. Warahana's gonna do the future work, and Benny, you gotta check our work, okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So that's good. So I will create that. I'll take that action item and then I'll get that to you as soon as it's ready, Warahana, under the new domain, and then we will proceed from there.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that. And I think that it's really important that we do this first because I don't want to say, oh, we should have reworked the website after we applied for the grant that we hope to get. So while this is not direct, it is actually directly related to us getting grants. And so I feel that this is valid, and I'm grateful that Warahana, you have those skills to make it look and do what it is you think is right. I can obviously support you um, as I need to, but know that I know that you're more than capable of creating the website that you want. But if you run into things or have questions, we're all one team, whether it's Benny, myself, or you, to create this new website. That's our first goal.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks for being open to that, Warahana, and letting us use your technical skills as well.
You're welcome.
Great.
All right. Next on the agenda, let's see, we've already discussed Warahana and her onboarding. Just switch this here. So that's good. And let's see, Starlink access. Did you want to talk about the Starlink?
Yeah, I can talk about it really quick. So, Warahana, you seem like you have, you're able to share your screen. Things seem like they're going well. I I wanted to talk to Ben and Salam about the Starlink option. So Benny, I understand that you have a dish and a service that we're going to treat these dishes because you're independent contractors and we can't provide you internet service. I think is what we're going to do is we're going to have dishes that can be quote unquote checked out from the office for use. So all dishes belong to Give Basic Needs. All Starlink dishes belong to Give Basic Needs. All services are paid for by Give Basic Needs. But if you're traveling to do a project or you need to work from a remote location, you can quote unquote check out one of these dishes and then use it for business purposes on site, whether that's Benny going back home or Warahana working from home on several days, or either of you working in the field. Same is true for Salam, etc. Does that sound like a good plan, Salam, for using the office as the library, if you will, for these dishes and these services?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, great. So and Benny, does that sound good to you as well?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Okay, so now remind me, and the president as well, because I don't keep track of this stuff, is we have 2 dishes in Ghana? 2 dishes that both have service?
No, Salam's just paused right now.
Okay, so we're just going to start calling them Dish 1 and Dish 2 because they're not actually for Salam, they're not for Benny, they're for whoever needs them. That's how we can basically justify paying the costs on them and allowing you guys high connectivity with them. So
How they're set up now is that Salam is his email login and Ben is his email to log in. And
okay,
they, I don't like this about Starlink that they send a stupid code to the email for you to log in. I mean, it's Starlink; it's not a bank account or whatever.
right,
Anyways,
right,
so then that's how they
okay.
log on and set up or whatever, troubleshoot theirs.
So so my question is, because these are essentially in like a library now in the office, do you want to move the account emails? Can you do that to a new email like Dish 1, Dish 2? If we can change that, change the email in Starlink. So,
Yeah.
President, if you'll take that action item to find out if we should change them to be under Dish 1 at givebasicneeds.org and Dish 2, this will give us better control over the services and keep Salam and Betty getting not only the invoices but also the prompts for login when the president needs to change services. So does that make sense? Salam, are you on board with that?
Yes, 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 it does.
Okay, great. And then Benny, you as well?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay, great. So I think is what we need, correct me if I'm wrong, is we currently need Dish 1 to be present at the office at all times. So anybody who's in a conference call or doing work from the office has internet service at a high speed that they can use on a regular basis. Do you agree with that, Salam?
Sure, yeah.
Is that currently the way One Dish is being used or no?
Yes, so the one with me is always internally because Ben do move in between Tamale and Lerugu, so he is able to move with the one that is with him.
Okay, great. So we're going to say Dish 1 is going to stay at the office. It will be permanently checked in there as in not to move. And then Dish 2 will be, Ben will have checked out and currently possess. And then my question is, do we need Dish 3 for Warahana now? Or is Warahana good with what she's got? That's what you let us know.
Okay, so today is a good day. So I have good internet connection. That's why I'm able to share without any breaks.
Uh-huh.
But on most days, it's the internet quality is really bad. And I know Starlink is very good. So
Okay.
if I get one, it will be good.
Okay. So I think
You'll give me.
okay. So as what I hear us saying is we need dish 3, and dish 3 will be part of the office library of satellite dishes that are live, and then Warahana, you can check that one out and use it as you need.
Oh, okay.
And does that make good sense to Salam?
Yeah,
Okay. So
it
you don't
does.
you don't see a problem with doing it this way, and I think it's the best way to do it. Then if someone has to go to the field like Warahana, you have to go capture things. You need things. It's possible to run it off of a vehicle. You could do that, or plug it in a village, whatever, and be able to do that as well. So I think that solves Warahana's problem of intermittent network connections, and I think it solves Benny's need. And I think Salam, you're good with what you have now currently. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so then, Presidu, how do we go about getting another dish at the office?
Do you want it to be dish 3?
It'll be dish 3.
Okay. So then that's just getting another email.
Do we? Yeah, dish 3. I'll set that up. And then do we ship that? Do we ship that to the office, or do you pick that up? Salam, how did you do that in the past?
Yes, so I think you shipped to the office, but the when it got to Tamale, they had to call, and then we just picked it up.
Okay. Is that what you'd
Yeah.
like to do?
We're able to track it. Yeah, so I think it's easy. We if you ship and you share the link with her, she can track the location at any point and pick it up
Okay.
wherever that is convenient.
So do either of you remember, Ben or Salam, if it says like service address on your account when you log in? Does it say, but do both of them say the office?
You mean for the delivery?
No, like
The
when you log
service address.
into the Starlink portal,
Okay.
it'll say like service address. Do you guys have
Okay,
that?
so I don't know for
Yes.
Ben. Okay, I think Ben is on Starlink. I haven't, since we canceled the subscription for my own. I haven't been on Starlink,
Okay.
Okay.
so I've not tried logging in.
Okay.
Yes. So on the app, there's service location.
Mhm.
Yes. So when it came, the service location is actually in Tamale.
Okay.
But when I bring it to Naleru, I can just go to the app and change it to Naleru. When I go back to Tamale, I go back to the app again and change it to Tamale.
Okay.
So that, yes, it's easy to do that.
Okay.
I think the Presidu's question, and I don't know if either of you know the answer. If you don't, it's okay. But have we ever had 2 Starlink dishes with the same service address?
Yeah, I think
Yes. Yes.
the other
Uh,
two were using the same service address when they came.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
That means we can have the service address of dish 3 be the Tamale office, as well as that's where we'll ship it. And then Warahana, you can pick it up and track it and get it as a dish 3 at the and be able to use it from wherever you need to as a checked out device.
Okay.
Great, great, that's good. So Presidu took those action items. Excellent, thank you.
Of course. Let's see. I know Salam, do you have your class? I know we're a bit behind. Do you have your class this evening?
no.
Okay.
Okay,
Good. Should have asked that sooner. I apologize.
Yeah, we are still enjoying the holidays.
good, good.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, Hamdan, we wanted to discuss his role alignment. If he fits as a grant coordinator under or working with Warahana, is it best for him to utilize his financial skills? Kind of what we see him as a role, if any, with the foundation.
Yeah, and this is one thing that I realize is so the president and I need a bookkeeper. Like, we're tired of doing the books. and, and it's been fine, but it is a significant burden on our work effort and takes a lot of time. And so we're hoping that with this new auto push model, we could take someone, and I don't know that it's Hamdan, I don't know who it is. It's whoever Warahana agrees on, Salam agrees on, and we agree on, and Ben agrees on, that would be a good person to take the bookkeeping and the grant coordinator role, because they'll need, and the delivery person for the push. Now, I don't know how that works, because the idea is, and Warahana, you pointed it out in your paper, but I wanted to explain a little bit more how the push is going to work. So the nurse will use a form that will help design, that I'll design in, I'm sorry, I'm going to get this correct. Yeah, there'll be a form that the nurse entrepreneur submits through Smiley, and that will essentially trigger a report as far as how many, for example, how many typhoid vaccines they've given out. So if, let's say, Abbie comes to me as an RN entrepreneur, I will key in her treatment so that we can track it for grant reasons in Smiley.
Okay.
When we key that treatment, it will also say the supplies that we used. So let's say we used a typhoid. Abbie came to me for a typhoid vaccination. So the typhoid vaccination item includes not only the vaccine, but a needle and a sanitary pad or cleaning the wound or whatever, a Band-Aid, I don't know, whatever it entails. We'll have these item bundles. So the RN entrepreneur will key this into Smiley as a treatment for Abbie, not putting her name, but maybe gathering her age and the location that she came from. So when that's keyed in, is what that'll do is that will trigger a report back at the Tamale office that says 10 type. She was one of 10 typhoid people that health hub treated. So because those people were treated with those items, we're going to then put on the truck those 10 people's supplies that were consumed, so that we can essentially push the resupply inventory back to the health hub. So let's just say Abbie was one of 10 typhoid vaccines that the health hub gave out. We will push 10 more typhoid health kit, typhoid product descriptions, which may include subsequent, may include more than just a vaccine. It might include a Band-Aid or whatever. We'll push 10 of those back out to that health hub. When that nurse gets those typhoid kits, they will sign to accept them. If they say no, and they will be billed at that point in time for those 10. Now, Salam, this is a part that you'll have to verify, is that when that delivery person takes the truck with those 10 typhoid vaccines to that health hub, at that point in time, the RN entrepreneur will send mobile money to our account. When the driver sees that money has hit the account, they will leave those 10 new test kits, those 10 new typhoid kits. And then they will drive to the next health hub and do the same exact thing. So there'll be an individual who's doing accounting, not only for transactional bookkeeping purposes, but also for medication tracking within ERP Next or Smiley to keep track of inventories. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Makes sense. I wonder if that person should also be medical background as well.
I don't know, but there has to be a person who understands ERP Next, has to be trained on ERP Next for financials, because Abbie and I need someone to help us with reconciliation of the bank statements monthly. But then that person also needs to be able to reconcile the inventory in the tamale office with what goes on the truck and what is delivered to Health Hub 1, 2, and 3, while reconciling what comes back. Because at any point in time, Health Hub number 2 could say, I don't want this typhoid vaccine kit, so scratch it off. And then they only accept 9 of them. So they pay for 9, because remember, they're an individual business. We're not pushing inventory on them, we're pushing inventory to them so that they don't have to worry about reordering. Does that make sense, Warahana?
Yes, it makes sense. And I've gone through the documents several times. It's a really great model. The auto push model is really great, especially, correct me if I'm wrong, the initial drugs or supplies would be given to them for free, and then subsequently they would have to pay to restock. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And so this is where we get into the capital expenditures, sometimes referred as cap expense, and where we get into the operational expenses referred as op expense. And so what we would do is, with the grant, that let's just say Warahana writes the grant to establish 3 or 5 health hubs. All of the medications, like the initial 5 or 10 or 50 typhoid vaccines that will be delivered to the health hub immediately, will be covered as part of the grant for the capital expenditure. Then this individual who drives the delivery truck, because we're going to see, so it's not a decrementing of the individual's inventory at the hub. It's more, we're going to supply you and give you 10, and then every time you tell us we treat one of those with one of those items, we're going to push it right back to you. And then you'll either accept or reject that by paying for it out of your operating expenses, which is your ongoing, that's your business, not ours.
Okay.
Does that make at the tamale office? So we need an individual or individuals. Hopefully it's only one, because our operating expenses internally are going up through all the labor, but we need to execute. So it's something we need to balance. That's why I was hoping that this one person could help us with our books in ERP Next for monthly financials, could also track the inventories that need to be pushed, and drive the truck to deliver the medications to each of the health hubs on a weekly basis. So it would be a more or less another I guess it would be a part-time or maybe a full-time position that we would be looking at filling for someone who does the bookkeeping reconciliation, does the inventory management, and does the actual delivery or push to resupply the health hubs. Salam, how do you feel about what I described? Does that make logical sense to you, and is that the way you understand it?
Yes, I think we can get. I understand what you've said, and I kind of go with it, that we get somebody who. So I think with Warahana's knowledge and experience, the grant coordinator wouldn't have so much to do, considering that their roles goes with each other. And so adding the ERP Next role to the grant coordinator is okay. It's ideal for me. And doing reconciliation, I think someone handling ERP next should have some accounting background, and with that, it should be easy to manage inventory. We all did inventory management as part of as business students. So I think the same person should be able to handle this, and yes, it should be a full-time role. And I also agree with the model of offering initial. So I would just classify it as initial grants, which would comprise the capital expenditure and the operational expenses, and subsequently the RN should be able to sustain the facility. Yes, and there should be that coordination between the RN facilities and the command center, which is the Tamale head office. So we should have someone, just like the Presido suggested in the beginning of the meeting, a health professional probably to coordinate. And this health professional, I think, should work closely with the RN, the individual we are looking forward to recruit for the ERP.
Let's just call that person the grant coordinator / bookkeeper.
Yes, okay, so yes. Kevin, I have a comment on that, right? If the grant coordinator is going to maybe do research, right? Look for opportunities for us. Yeah. That's just one aspect of it. Yeah. They are going to also take care of bookkeeping on ERP next. Yeah. They are going to do reconciliation. And I think you also mentioned that they might have to drive the vehicle to
it could deliver be too much. It could be too much for one person. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, because there's another component as well to the grant coordinator, which we haven't touched on, which is the follow-up reporting for the grants that we've accepted and are executing on. They're going to be responsible for that, and you'll be essentially signing off on them, if I understand what we've agreed on. And so, so there also be another component, which is the grant reporting statuses. Status reports, excuse me.
Hopefully preparation of management accounts.
So what we can rather do is...
Sorry, Salam, I didn't hear your comment.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. I said, and I think the person should also be able to prepare our accounts, say management accounts for auditors to sign off.
Right. So now you're referring to external audits, correct, Salam?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have.
But usually external auditors work with your internal accountants. So I'm just saying that since the person will be here in Tamale and most of the work would be done here, the person should also be able to prepare our internal accounts for the auditors to perform their work.
Yeah, so let's just try and make a list of what things we need done, and then we can try and divide them into positions and roles that we want to try to fill. So, Warahana, go through right now, because this will be noted. It should be noted in the notes for this meeting. Warahana, can you say all the things that the grant writing coordinator needs to do from your perspective, and then we'll let Salam go, and then I'll finish up if there's anything missing.
Let me see. Okay, so the grant coordinator, I think, should be able to like sort of do research, right? Identify opportunities out there.
Okay.
Of course, instead of going to individual sites like maybe the UN site or World Bank site, usually there are platforms where they've collated opportunities from various platforms
Right.
that you can just go and then see so many opportunities on one platform at a go. So I could help point the person to such platforms, but that's
Yeah.
one thing they will be doing.
Yeah.
They would also, I think, if they are able to also manage, like keep track of our deadlines, right? Like timelines.
Yeah.
So for instance, if we've identified a grant opportunity, he or she should be able to keep track of when we are supposed to submit the application or the proposal, when we actually win the grant, when we are supposed to finish implementation, what stage of implementation are we, etc. Yes, they can also help with reporting if it's intermittent reports that we have to support, like submit to the grantors or even to managements. Um, so you see that the grant pipeline template that I created and shared,
Mhm.
he or she would be managing that because that will keep track of all our grants, those we are pursuing, those that are active. Um,
And just one thing to clarify on that, Warhana,
yes.
we will while the spreadsheet is critical for identifying what the requirements are that you need. We'll actually be tracking those. We created a new. I did this last night with the Presido. We created a
Mhm.
new project ID format, and
Okay.
all of the grants, once they reach the point of quote unquote discussion with the Presido,
Hmm.
will be created as projects in ERP Next in Smiley
Okay. Okay.
with this new format. So Ben, for example, it'll be PROJ dash grant dash year dash incremental number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So these projects won't get confused with the giving event projects, but we'll track all grants within Smiley so that we have a record. Even if we close them and we decide not to go forward with them, we'll have all of the contacts. We'll have all of that information in Smiley, all of the tasks that need to be done, the calendar, all of that will be in Smiley. So it was great that you did the spreadsheet because
Mm.
those are all the requirements that we need to support in Smiley, and I can customize Smiley to support that data. But those grants, once they move past the what was this? What's the second phase? Second point in your number 8 document? I'm sorry, the document you created, number 8.
I got it.
Oh, we got it.
So the first one is strategic fit assessment.
Right. So once you do the strategic fit assessment on your own,
Yeah.
at that
Mm.
point, you'll create the project. If you move to proposal development, at that point, you'll create the grant project in Smiley.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll track
So.
it in Smiley, etc. So that needs
Mhm.
to be done as you stated, and needs to be managed as you stated by the grant coordinator as well. So sorry to interrupt. I just had a little bit of background there I wanted to share with how that was going to be done.
Okay. So yeah, so not to overwhelm the coordinator, what we can add to his or her role is maybe the bookkeeping aspect,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe the lead nurse that we were talking about could handle the reconciliations of the supplies or the drugs,
Mm-hmm.
right? As well as delivering them, because once they reconcile, they have an idea what a particular health station needs,
Yeah.
and then they can easily deliver those supplies to them.
Right.
Yeah, and I have a question, just so that I don't forget, right? The auto push model, has that been implemented on the ERP Next system already?
Yeah, so it has not fully been implemented. So is what we're going to do. The way I designed it is that it will use standard purchase invoices in
Okay.
in ERP Next. So we're going to continue using purchase invoices. Is what'll happen is uh, there'll be a report. So the piece that we have to do together, Warahana, you and I, is we have to define the requirements that you want to gather for your reporting back to the grantor. So if we want to capture the patient's age, for example, we need to build that into a new document template. We need to build the interface that allows the health hub nurse, the RN entrepreneur, to enter the data about the patient, not their patient name or anything like that, but all the information you want to collect.
Okay. All right.
Once we have that, that'll correlate into individual products that they used when things are selected, and then we will extrapolate from those items in a report that has to be built that will tell the nurse at the office what needs to be put on the truck and pushed to the individual hub.
Okay.
And then what will happen is once that individual is set, they will use the items within ERP Next, because it already has a concept of items and stock and all of that. They'll use the items to create a purchase invoice draft. They will print that. They'll print that sheet and take that with them to the RN entrepreneur, and when they agree on what's to be delivered, the payment will be made to the account and the mobile money account, and then the products will be left, and they'll both sign the draft. When the draft document comes back, it'll be submitted as an actual purchase invoice, and we will track inventory based on that.
Okay. Okay.
So there's some to build, but it's really dependent on you, Warahana, as far as what you want to collect from the nurses.
Okay.
Or your grantor reporting.
Okay. I'll work on something and share with you. Maybe just the form fields.
Yeah, the
so
form fields that you want to track as far as what's treated and what needs to be done. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can mark that up however you want, just as a template form or whatever, and then I can build it, etc.
Okay.
And then, so that's really good information. We laid out the things that the grant coordinator needs to do. Salam, you want to go ahead and lay out the things that you need the grant coordinator / bookkeeper / nurse need to do?
I think she literally just said everything. So the only thing I was adding up is the preparation of our accounts. Just like you do in the US, I think you prepare the accounts for the public accountant to audit and certify. So the grant coordinator can do that as well for activities or for our books in Ghana here for the external auditors to also audit.
Okay.
I don't think that would be much of a role.
No.
Big deal to do. Yes.
It should be pretty
because you already have all the numbers, you have the sources already to share. So
yeah. So Salam, do you just really quick, do you see the process that I described with the draft purchase invoice that has a typhoid count of 10 and a malaria count of 3, and then the prices on those? Do you see the process of going to the nurse entrepreneur and saying, this is what I brought to resupply you, send me the mobile money and I will give you the products? Does that process, and then them signing the draft confirming the receipt of those, does that process work for you?
Yes, I think it works best, and officially that's what we should do for auditing purposes. And also these are health related activities which is closely monitored, so it's good that we have something like that to track movement of every inventory.
Yeah, because and is what the individual who's going to go deliver the medications will do is before they load the truck, once the truck is loaded, they will take note and move inventory from essentially the tamale office warehouse to the truck, which will be treated as a warehouse. And then all of that inventory that doesn't get distributed to the health hub will then be checked back into the tamale inventory. So there will be a continuous record of every item tracked from the point at which it's in the tamale office and how it gets into the tamale office, all the way through to the delivery of the item on the truck to the health hub and back, should it be returned.
Yeah.
So to Warahana's point, all of that exists. The thing that doesn't exist are the build out of the items and the interface that she's going to work on for capturing what needs to be included from the nursing RN regarding treatments and reporting purposes.
Okay.
So the project data, is that currently being stored on the ERP Next platform?
All of our projects are managed on ERP Next. Yeah, and they can have individual purchase invoices, sales invoices. We manage tasks there. We have a calendar there. All of that inventory, all of that checkout of inventory, all of that stuff is done all in ERP Next.
Okay, I don't know whether it's my access, because I can only see the contracts. ERP Next, that's Smiley, right?
Yeah, on Smiley. Yeah, it could be an access issue.
Yeah. Okay, because I can only see the contracts for now. I can't see anything else.
Okay,
and I would love to
you can't see any
data.
project information. Is that correct?
No, I can't.
Okay. So currently, well, the reason you may not see them is currently there are no open projects because we just wrapped up the year.
Okay.
But Ben and the Presidio work hand in hand with a templated project, which you may want to develop a templated task list for each grant that you go through that blows out the point at which it is defined in Smiley. And so is what happens with our giving events is the giving event is created by the executor, say Salam. He creates the project and puts a templated task list associated with it. Once that's done, he gets that project gets 40 some tasks. Everything from procuring and financing all the way to blog posts and social media posts and closing. So all of those templated tasks get pushed into the project, and then the Presidio goes through and assigns those to who they get assigned to, and Benny is responsible for making sure that all of the tasks are completed and all of the dollars are in alignment, etc. And so what we'll be using to track the dollars on your side for the grants is we'll be using something new to us, which are cost categories for expenses, and we'll be leveraging our budgets even more so than we currently do. The person who creates the project also is responsible for creating a budget. But we'll need to work through that a little bit differently when we're working with grants, because the budgets will be probably a bit tighter managed. And so, but we have the ability to do projects, which will be grant projects, all of the budgeting, all of the cost category accounting pieces, as well as all of the financial and task tracking that will be done, will all be in Smiley.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just work together that regarding system requirements, and if you want to template out something regarding what needs to be captured at the health hub by the RN, that would be beneficial for me, and I can actually take the action item to build that. It's called the doc type. I'll build that doc type in Smiley, and we can begin to revise it as we need. It's a very easily customizable system, so it doesn't take a lot of effort to build these doc types and track this information.
Okay.
Benny, do you have any comments on that? I'm sorry, before we,
Okay.
Benny,
No.
with you in charge of
Yeah. So
do you have any concerns?
yeah, I think all that is discussed is it's in line. Yeah, she asked about we haven't all the projects on Smiley, and we actually do everything we from the start of the project till the end. Everything is tracked on Smiley, from the start, how it progresses and everything. Yes, and just as CFO said, we can. He has designed the system in a way that we can always have more things built on it. So when we start with regards to tracking of the funds, I'm sure that is something we can easily learn and also get along. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just laughing because the initial question that started this conversation was, do we see Hamdan
Yeah. Yeah.
in the foundation? What role, if any? So,
I think there's a role, but we haven't defined it yet because it seems like we're trying to keep overhead down until we get some grants under us. Or maybe Warahana, some of this can be funded in the grant. I don't know.
Could you say that again?
Yeah, so let's say that we need someone to do deliveries and track inventory that is an RN. We could write
Okay.
that labor or as into the grant, or how do we do that? Or I mean, we could cover it, but I'm wanting to be cautious about using our dollars just so that we have enough. If there's something that you say we absolutely can't do, we can cover personally out of our savings.
So it depends on the kind of grant that we will get.
Okay.
There are some grants that are just unrestricted funding. You do whatever you want with the money, so
Okay.
far as it's related to the projects that you've indicated in your application.
Mhm.
Some grants will require that you use it for only capital expenditure. Some will require that you use it for only operations, like your daily expenses or operational expenses, right? So it all depends on the kind of grant that we would get.
Okay.
If we get a grant that gives us the flexibility, why not? We can pay the RN or the lead nurse from the grant. Yeah.
Okay. So I think it sounds like we have a need. I mean, in an ideal world, I think we have a need for two more individuals on the team. One being a nurse professional who does the deliveries, who does the reordering of supplies for the tamale warehouse, as it's called, the office, and then also does all of the deliveries and the management of items to the individual health hubs while while helping out with any compliance requirements around the grants or what Benny might have. Because Benny, you'll still be kind of overseeing these as a compliance role, simply because if all goes well, we'll be doing fewer giving events and more grant events, as I guess we would call them. I don't really know, but grant giving events. So the compliance role will kind of just shift a little bit to be these projects as opposed to giving event projects. So um, does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. That's understandable.
Okay, and so I'm not sure, Benny, if you'll be maybe as part of compliance, um, maybe your role changes a little bit, and you um, track the inventories, or maybe I don't know how to do it, Benny. How do you see your role changing if you're doing? Yeah, I guess we will still have all of that 40 item checklist for every grant project, just like we do for every giving event. Is that correct? Because we still need blog posts, we still need uh, social media, we still need to make sure all the numbers line up, all those things, right? So I don't know that there's a difference there, is there? Between doing a grant event and a giving event
I don't think.
from that project list.
Nothing I can
Okay.
recall.
Not that
Anything,
you
Ben?
think of?
No, how about you, Ben? No.
Yep. So maybe the parts in which the activities will take might change, but the goal will still be the same. We try to, yeah. So I think it's fine. We
Okay.
can still have that that go on. Yes. In as far as compliance is concerned.
Okay. So do you see? So do the President and Benny? Do you guys see a project template for grants, just like there's a project template for giving events?
Okay. So if I understand, does that mean for individual grants we win without executing just for the grants?
Hmm.
Because in the execution phase, we might still have to follow the given event template to execute. So what would be the distinction?
Yeah, it was just a question that I had to you. Salam, you have something?
Yeah, so I think sometimes, Warahana mentioned this in her earlier submission. Sometimes some of the grants comes with some reporting requirements.
Hmm.
So I think Ben's role might just be an evolving role as we move on, as and when, depending on the reporting requirements that comes with a particular grant. Otherwise, it could just remain the same.
I think my question right now for Benny is, Benny, are you the grant coordinator?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean I'm saying like, are you are you the grant coordinator that is gonna be doing that, helping out with all of those things, or is if we're doing, I'm just trying
Are
to.
you saying that in addition to his current
No,
role?
not in addition. I'm saying you might. No. I'm saying is your position, if let's just say we make it a goal to do fewer giving events and more grant events in Ghana. That's what we're trying to do. That's why Warahana's here, all of those things, right? So does that mean, Benny, that that you're going to be doing coordination with the grants more and compliance with the grants more if we're not doing it with the giving events? Salam, do you,
I,
Benny, what do you think first, and then we'll
so,
go to Salam and Warhana.
mhm.
Yes, but so what I was a bit confused was about the rules of the grant coordinator we initially highlighted during this meeting.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So um, from the rules, we established that it's not just about the coordination alone, but also helping in identifying the funds.
Hmm.
Yes, that in addition to other tasks. So I don't know.
I'm wondering. My question to you, Benny, is it better for us to look for a person that you can train to do the social media part and take the social media part away from you and give you the grant coordinator role like you have the event coordinator role?
Okay, yeah, I think that's an option we can explore.
I think it's up to
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
Benny.
it is up to you,
Which,
Benny,
you know,
too.
obviously, which one fills your heart more? You know, which role would make your heart happier and fill your cup more? Definitely to, you know, obviously recognize that and have you think about that.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
So think about it just for a minute. If we think outside the box, Warhana or Salam, Warhana first, and then Salam.
Yes, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you've been doing more of the social media for a long time now. So you are well versed in that area, right? So even if we get a grant, we will still maintain our social efforts. We'll still post on social media, we'll still run blog posts,
Sure.
even more frequently than you are doing at the moment. We might even send out more posts. So Ben's role will still remain the same. Maybe the compliance aspect will just change a little to match with the grantor's expectations, right? So not to waste resources trying to train someone in social media and then also training Ben in grant coordination again. We could maintain Ben as the social media guy, the compliance guy. He already has knowledge in that. And then we rather get someone and then train them in the grant coordination. That is if the person that doesn't have a lot of experience. But I'll just leave that to Ben to see. Maybe he might be more interested in the grant coordination. If not, I think the social media or the compliance is great because that's what he's been doing. And he would be required to continue to do this even when we win grants. Yeah.
For sure. There's no doubt that social media is a big part of what we do. I'm just trying to figure out if this is a point in time in which we should reposition the role of compliance and coordination, put those two together, and say you're compliance and coordinator over both the giving events and the grants. And then we find somebody like Simone who we train him on social media, because we're going to have to train somebody, whether it's on social media or it's on grants. But I'm just wondering if it's better to, what's better? I don't know. Can we let Salam go? Sure. He's asked twice for his hand up, I think, and I missed him twice. Sorry. Go ahead, Salam.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I think from your end is, I don't know whether it is just me, it might be my computer, but you are breaking a little. Yeah, so what I want to say is that I think you just summarized it right now. I really wanted to suggest that Ben's role is compliance and social media. So maybe for now, I think we can add him a role as compliance, or let's just say the compliance should include grant compliance as well. So for instance, when you the lead nurse distribute inventories and get back to the office and do the tallying, that figure of what has gone out, what came in, what money has been received, should be something Ben should see as part of compliance, just to confirm that whatever figures are reported back to the office from the field is correct. So I think for now we can add that role to Ben as part of his compliance, say maybe grant compliance or whatever way we want to describe it. And then, just like we discussed the onboarding process and the succession plans as the roles evolve, we can have already Simon is volunteering with us. The last event we held in the office, he actually helped a lot with the with capturing of on the media aspect. So we can have him continuously to volunteer with us, and then we train him along the line with regards to social media, so that if we get to a point where we feel we need to Ben's role to stand alone as just compliance, and let me give him a big role here, director of compliance. then then we can now have that stand alone, and we'll have the social media guy.
Yeah.
Who can just be handling our social media remotely. That doesn't have to be something in full time. And then Ben can just take charge of the whole of compliance, whether it is personal events compliance or grants compliance. And because if we move him to the grants coordinating role, that might require a lot of training, because I see a lot of accounting works in that aspect. Because grant reporting sometimes come with a lot of accounting work. And as much as we are trying to reduce the workload on you, we'll need somebody with that experience. I am not discounting the fact that in this day and age, anyone can learn any skill, provided they are committed. But we want to start off as an organization that knows and understands its onions very well. So I still maintain the fact that um, if we are looking out for a grant coordinator, it should be someone. It should be someone with some accounting knowledge that can handle our financials and the ERP next as well. And then for now, we can just add the grants compliance to Ben. That is, if he can take that workload.
Yeah. I think that this is all up to, let's just be clear, it's all up to Ben. Ben, we're talking in third person as if you're not here, but obviously your opinion matters. And so we're just kind of brainstorming like all these roles that we need. Even when you talk about Salam, you talk about compliance, really looking over and looking at our bank statements and verifying that all the transactions are in there and working with the external auditors. All of those are compliance.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
so we have compliance that is financial, is inventory, and is third party. Right. With third party being a split between third party auditors and third party being split between grantors and their reporting requirements. So I'm not sure. I'm also trying to figure out when we look at the succession planning, we want to promote and put the people that are the most knowledgeable with what we do highest up, period. So so when it comes to somebody who's doing compliance, I don't know if I want to hire a grant coordinator. I was hesitant to say we could find a grant coordinator without mentoring them for 6 months. But now we have Benny, who clearly has the knowledge of everything that we do, how we operate. It's far easier to say, let's train somebody to do our social media.
Yeah.
Because, and our social media, I don't know. So I think I want to hear from Ben at the end here. And then we'll
say what I was going to say.
Yeah, you got something to say.
We need to hear from the president.
Yeah, let's hear from the president.
I mean, obviously, I wanted to say again that it is ultimately up to Ben, and I don't want Ben to feel pressure in any way, doing, hearing everything. It's just feedback. It's a team. It's a family. It's what we do. So I just want to make sure and honor you, Ben, as far as what's going to make you happy, what will, professionally, personally fill your cup. So that's what I want to say initially. And, I think, I forget my original point, but I believe it was just thinking about, is it a grant coordinator? Is it a bookkeeper? What we're looking for in that aspect and stuff. So
yeah, there's definitely a need. We have a need for more people. How we're going to fund them and how we're going to get them trained is the real question. Warahana, you've done an amazing job coming on board and being already up to speed. I mean, you literally know like everything that we do, it seems like. So that's great, but we're not going to find those people all over the place. It's going to take time to train people, which is why it's important to give. And we all take responsibilities that need to be taken, right? I mean, I do accounting, but I also manage the portfolio. The president helps with the financial stuff. Like we do whatever it takes. We're a small group, so we can't just keep hiring people, even if we think we have good candidates, because our budget for wages is now outpacing the giving that we're doing. But hopefully Warahana is going to right the ship. No pressure, but hopefully she'll be able to bring in some dollars so that we can do some good again, because that's why I'm here. That's why I think we're all here.
Okay. In the interest of time, because we're going on 2
Wait,
hours.
let's let Benny finish.
Yeah.
Oh, you were going to say that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. I was just going to say, in the interest of time, let's go ahead. Let's wrap up the conversation and obviously hear from Ben to get his.
Yeah. So I think we're in a learning age, and as we are evolving, sometimes you'd have to step up to take up some things. So with the compliance, it is something that I have done with the giving events, and since we would be having more of the grants coming, I think that is something we can take on. As I also look at how we can train up someone for the social media work as we go on. So, and also just to, if we are not ready to actually, it's clear that right now, since we've not started getting grants, the resources to actually bring on more people and begin paying them might be a challenge. So it is something we can do for now as we look on to the future. How we, when we have more resources, then we can train more people. So I think it's something I can pick up with the compliance cutting across, not just limited to the projects that we do, but yes, any other field that is relevant to our work as far as compliance is concerned. It is something that I can take up for now.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
and just to the Presidency's point, I want to make sure that I heard you right, Benny. It sounds to me like professionally, your professional career is that you're willing to even do the financial pieces, whether that's for third-party audits like grantors, or whether that's third-party auditors, or that's doing the monthly statements to help us out, but really getting more engaged with the compliance of the financials. That seems like I hear you saying that you're open to whatever the team needs, and if the team needs that, that's something you're interested in doing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
Excellent. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for being open to that. I know it is a bit of a shift, and I know photography and all of that's your passion. So we definitely
Yeah.
appreciate that. But it's something that we can definitely consider as we move forward. I'm going to try to take this, and I'm just going to say it verbally so that when I go through with AI, it'll hopefully pick it up. We need to gather all of the positions and all of the roles that we currently do, and that we currently need, and that we need to do in the near future as we take on grants. Put those into buckets of roles, and then divide them up into roles that we need to hire. And I'm not sure exactly how that's all going to work out, but we definitely value Benny being willing to step up into a new position, and then potentially hiring somebody to do the social media piece, if that's something that, again, he confirms that he's interested in doing. And you can change your mind. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Great.
Okay.
Wow, what a
So
great discussion. Yeah, Warahana.
yes. So with regards to the Northern Health Shield project, right?
Yeah.
Are we piloting, let's say, one or two or three while we apply for grants to set up more stations, or all of that is going to wait till we get grants before we can even start the pilot?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I actually had the same one. So we're thinking alike, and I will have to open it up to Benny and Salam and the President and everybody to answer that, because I don't know the answer to that. We have the funds as the CFO to execute. It's just how much do we execute now, as you said, versus how much do we ask for grants. So the first question is to you, Warahana, I guess, which looks better? Do we do 3 health hubs and then apply for a bunch of grants and say, help us grow? Or is it better to just say, you know what, they're going to come begging for this because it's such a great idea. Let's just ask them to fund the first 3 as well.
Okay. So in as much as Give Basic Needs have done a lot of works in the past in the areas of health screening, giving events, the idea of the Northern Health Shield is new, right? It's something we haven't tried before. We might be lucky to meet a grantor who would overlook the fact that we haven't actually piloted this to see that it works. But it might be a bit difficult, right? It will be easier if we're able to pilot at least 2 or 3, right? So that we use that as a basis for grants. But that doesn't mean that we would wait. That doesn't mean that we would not apply for grants until we've rolled out the pilots. So while we are rolling out the pilots, we would be applying for grants. This would also even go a long way to demonstrate to grantors that we believe in the idea and we're willing to invest in the idea, right? And we are just looking for money to set up more stations. So short answer is, if we're able to pilot 2 or 3 with our own funds and then apply for more grants to set up more stations, that would be great.
That makes sense.
Good feedback.
Yeah, that does make sense, because you want them to see, like, hey, we've started this. We are
Yeah.
succeeding. Yes, we may have some challenges, but then your funds will help us expand. That's idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then in the interim, until we get these 2 or 3 hubs started, then potentially you can look for grants for other reasons, for other giving events, for the traditional, I guess you want to say, not the
Giving events,
the
yeah,
hubs.
whether it's boreholes or whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah, we can even apply for grants for the health stations or the Northern Health Shield projects, right?
Uh-huh.
By the fact that we have actually started work
Mm-hmm.
and then we are applying, it makes a stronger case than if we haven't even started anything at all.
Yeah.
So even if it's that we've gotten the land title, we've hired the RNs, etc., that's us starting, right? That's us starting the pilot process. Then
Right.
we can even start applying for grants for such purpose. But then it wouldn't be such a great idea to not do anything at all, and then start looking for grants to now start executing afresh.
It's great.
Okay.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea. Benny, do you have any thoughts?
Yes. So I was also thinking if it's possible, as we are piloting this, we've established ourselves in other given fields like medical, food, and shelter. So if we could apply for grants, sometimes related to those, if we get a grant that's about boreholes or
Mm.
grants that's about just direct medical giving events like we've been doing, we can be looking at that as well, as we also look at starting with the Northern Health Shield.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the strategy that I actually shared with Kevin and Abby covers the different grant areas that we'll be looking out for.
Mm-hmm.
So even though our focus for next year or this year, sorry, we're in 2026.
That just happened.
Even though the focus for 2026 is the Northern Health Shield, it comes with several ecosystems that are going to power its operation. So, for example, there's the solar bit, there's the borehole bit, right? And even other things such as women cooperatives. And it still doesn't stop us from giving money to people for food if such a grant comes up, because it's still in line with what we do, right?
Right.
So even though this year our focus is the Northern Health Shield, if a grant opportunity comes up that is not even directly related to the Northern Health Shield, I think we should pursue it. Yeah.
I think the concern there, I think, well, I totally agree with that, Warahana, and I'm going to go to Salam next. But I think the thing that we need to be cautious of is that our resources, our human capital is limited. So if we were to take on a big grant, for example, in the area of food, it may distract from the health hubs, and we'll need to prioritize that and make sure that we have enough human capital to execute. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, Benny?
Yeah, it does.
And so, Salam, what are your thoughts on piloting the health hubs?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Using myself as a grantor, hopefully by the grace of God, I will reach enough to give basic needs grants. I would want to see that you have your own skin in the game before you ask that I give you money to continue. So I think piloting is great. What is also interesting is that she has stated that given the events and projects we've done in the past, we can, whilst we are piloting, we can be looking for grants related to what we've already done. I think the Northern Health Shield is just a composite of everything we've been doing. So if we get a grant on a grant on that fits any of the activities we've been doing, whether it is the boreholes or is the medical screenings, um, or even the solar, because we did solar and we have evidence of that work. I think we can be exploring that whilst we pilot the the Northern Health Shield. And I believe that we don't need to, if it depends on how we start the piloting. If we are starting with just one station, even when the construction begin or midway, the structure, whatever, could be captured and used as evidence in any grant application. We don't need to wait till, let's say, we've piloted all three or all two or all five, what given the number resources will allow us to pilot before we actually go for that composite grant. Yeah, so that's my thoughts.
That's great. Go ahead, Prezi.
No, I just said,
You agree?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that we should definitely do the pilot. For Warahana, I would ask, do you want us to complete one health hub, or do you want us to start 3? So that when you write, you have the highest success rate. You want us to have one completed and operational, or do you want us to have, or 2, if we can afford it and make it work, or would you rather us get the land deeds, have the structures built, and then you have the ammunition you need to go to the next level? Which would you rather we do?
If we have the funds, maybe 2 operational.
2 operational should be our goal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Then that's what we should do. I think that we can decide on that. I think we can agree to have decided on that. Financially, President, it's up to you to give the final, but if we want to go ahead with that, we can start outlining some of the things that need to take place. You want to think on it?
Yeah, let's think on it.
Okay, we're going to think on it, but it sounds like 2 operational pilot is a good start, especially if we've got Benny to help on the ground with the compliance, who's already familiar with how we operate, and is willing to take over some of the accounting pieces that we need, and to learn those within Smiley, so that we can do things like track inventory and things is good. The thing that I don't know, one of the things that concerns me is the capital outlay for the delivery vehicle. I don't know what that looks like or how expensive that is. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, we can think about that and process that a little bit later. I'm just trying to wrap up. I know, go ahead, Salam.
Okay, so on the vehicle, I think when I went through the documents, I thought that I would make that comment in this meeting. And thank you for touching on it. I would have forgotten. Yes, looking at the purpose for the vehicle, I think that for immunization purposes, we might not need the vehicle at this moment, because some of the communities are some of the communities are not accessible.
Yeah, hard to reach. Yeah.
They are hard to reach communities with a vehicle. So I think it is a reason why there is exclusion when it comes to health access. But there are nearby accessible communities that we can put the health stations, that these communities that are hard to reach, they can easily just walk to or go on a motorbike, or even on a bicycle to access these health stations. So on the back of the vehicle, I was thinking, coordination between the office and the health stations for now wouldn't be that much, because we're talking about maybe starting with 2 or 3 or whatever the presido sleeps over and come back with. But let's even assume that we are doing 5. I don't think 5, coordinating between the 5 with supplies will be that much. At least we can depend on maybe renting a vehicle to do that movement, because it will just take, assuming I'm the one to go around and just provide supplies. The health lead, let me use the right person. So the health lead, once it's within the same municipal, can use a day or 2 to go around, I think about 5 facilities and report back to the office. So I would suggest, though I do not have prices of vehicles and I don't even know the kind of vehicle we'll be looking for, but I'll suggest that for efficiency, motorbikes for now will be good. That is, if we are going with the vaccines as well. And the motorbikes shouldn't be given to the health directorate or the health management team at the district level. We should have control over the motorbikes, probably have some trackers on them. And then as an organization, we know that, let's say, the first week of every month or last week of every month, whatever day within a month, our health professionals together with the health management team at the district level are going around to do immunization. Then we can release the bikes to them to use for whatever number of days, report the bikes back to our office. We keep them, and we can rotate these same motorbikes across even other districts when we expand.
Mm-hmm.
And probably at that level, or maybe when grants come in and the number of health stations increases, etc., we can look at getting a vehicle. That's my thoughts right now.
Yeah, that's a good thought, and I want to just throw out there that for just for education or for knowledge purpose, the way it's designed right now is that delivery will take place weekly.
Okay.
So supplies will be delivered weekly to each of the health hubs, where they are, what the health hub the loop looks like, where they are, etc. That's all to be determined. But the way it's currently defined, and we can change this, is that those will be delivered weekly. And that is what that does, is it allows us to have multiple loops and keep someone busy over the course of the month. And it also allows us to maintain a smaller stock for vital things like malaria, which can only be held 7 days. I'm sorry, vaccines that can only last 7 days without refrigeration.
Yeah.
Like typhoid. And so I think the delivery schedule is currently designed to be weekly. And then there would need to be someone there to then coordinate the movement of products, the accounting pieces. This would be maybe Benny in his new role, whatever, as also supplying the motorbikes and making sure that the things get on the motorbikes and are delivered. I think the motorbike, it probably would just be one, would be kept at the office there, and then it would be checked out by the delivery person, essentially, who's doing the delivery, just like we check out supplies, or I'm sorry, just like we check out Starlink dishes to do the job, and then they would check it back in. Does that sound right?
So I think, yes, I think if the delivery is going to be very regular, it might become very expensive renting a vehicle back to back in the long term. So I agree that if that is the case, then it's better to just procure a vehicle that we know we can use for 5-10 years, whatever, depending on the kind of vehicle we get. And over time, so I'm a finance person, if we do the present value of the vehicle, it might be cheaper than actually renting. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But on the side of the motorbike, are we looking at this motorbike being used? Because so with my interactions with the public health director, we are not going to, as an NGO, we are not going to be given the right to administer vaccines. And so we would have our health personnel who would go with approved public health officers from the Ghana Health Service at the district level to go to communities and administer vaccines. So
Wait. The only administration of vaccines will be done by the RN entrepreneurs. That's why it can't be a midwife. It has to be an RN.
But he's saying in order for the health certificate that someone from the health department has to travel with this individual to all of the hubs. That's what he just said.
Is that what you're saying?
yes, because we do not have the RN as an individual will not have that license, because the vaccines in Ghana are administered purely by our public health officials,
Uh-huh.
and their storage is also very delicate. I'm not sure. I don't know if we would be able, or if we want to provide cold storage for vaccines at these facilities we are talking about.
Yeah,
But
no. No cold
what we
storage.
have is, okay, so we have a district. Every district has a vaccine center where the government has provided the facilities to store vaccines. So I was thinking that we can have an MOU with the district public health directorate that can store our vaccines, and then these vaccines can be accessed by us at any time, either to our health stations or directly to the communities. When we were kids growing up, there were times, I think there was this NGO called Ring Ghana. What Ring Ghana used to do is they come with their vehicles, their motorbikes, and in some cases, vehicles. It was a USAID project they were running, so they had more resources. And then they just take the public health professionals on their bikes and they move to the villages, house to house. So they come into your house and they vaccinate all the children that need to take the vaccines. So I was thinking we will want to go to that level. But if it is just to the level of the RN stations, then I think just a motorbike and a vehicle will do.
Yeah, because remember, we're putting the health hub at the well in the village. So people will be coming to the health hub. We're not going to them, they're coming to us. So the only thing we need to do is store the medications in our tamale office. And then on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day of the week it is, the person and the grant coordinator maybe track the medications from moving from the tamale office warehouse, as we're defining it, to the motorbike, and then the motorbike goes and delivers it to the hub. So no health professionals needed there because the RN is the only one doing the injection.
That's okay. That's understood.
Yeah.
I was thinking we are taking it to their homes.
Nah. Yeah, so it's better we do it this way because we're causing them to gather they're causing them to gather at what we're calling the anchor point, which is the well.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something on the ground or whatever. But I think the motorbike then will be the delivery mechanism to each of the hubs, and we'll be moving product essentially from where. So the person who's going to, the reason this person who's delivering the medications needs to have a medical background is they'll also be ordering for the tamale warehouse. So if 10 vaccines go out to hub 1 and 10 go to 2 and 10 go to 3, then they need to get from the municipal or Ghana Health Services or whoever it is 30 more typhoid vaccines to restock the warehouse. And so if Benny's doing compliance, he's going to be needing to make sure that 30 went out, they were paid for by the RN entrepreneurs, and now we need to resupply our stock and order 30 more. And that needs to come from wherever we get the medications from. And that's why in the document, in that matrix, I listed all of the medications that we're going to provide and all of the supplies. So some are essential things like gauze and vitamins for maternity and these kinds of things. And then some of them are vaccinations. And so this is the only list that we'll provide to the hub. Anything they want to get beyond that, including a midwife, if they want to hire a midwife or they want to get vitamin C tablets, that will be up to them to procure. That's not going to come on our motorbike.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So yes, that makes sense to me. Maybe others will have their input, but I just also wanted to suggest that maybe when fans would allow, we can also consider adding hepatitis B vaccine. Because it's a major issue.
Yeah, I know. B is included. Yeah. B is included.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
maybe it's just another thing.
It's okay, because the top things, and this is good for Warahana to know and for Ben to validate as well. The top things are 1, typhoid vaccines, which we need to purchase privately.
Yeah.
So Salam, if you could take an action item to figure out where we're going to get those the cheapest, that would be great. And if Warahana, maybe you two need to coordinate together to see if Gavi, which is I don't know if they provide that. I don't know anything about it. But we need to see how we're going to get those. So Salam, work with Warahana to discuss where to get these medications and if she knows of any outlets that we might be able to get them at a discount. But the first one is typhoid. The second one is hepatitis tests.
Okay.
HIV tests and hepatitis C. And so what we're going to do is we're going to inoculate everyone who is hepatitis B negative.
Okay.
So that they stay negative. And then that nurse will know, because they're local, will know who needs their second and third shots. So those will all be tracked. But anyone who's positive then for HIV or hepatitis C or hepatitis B will get referrals because we can't treat them.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the meningitis, because the meningitis vaccine we can get for cents on the dollar from the Ghana Health Services, from what I understand. And you validated that, I think, right? Like 30 cents or something?
Yes, I think the Ghana Health Services have them for free. What they only require is that they are not able to get the vaccines to the people who really need them, because Ghana Health Service have logistical issues.
Yeah.
So in my conversation with the health director, that was what came up.
Great.
So for those vaccines, if maybe we can use whatever cent or dollar we wish to put on it to augment the Ghana Health Service with our lead health professional to make sure that people are able to get these vaccines that are already available to them.
Yeah. So those are the 3 areas that we're going to focus on: typhoid, hepatitis B negative people, meningitis, and then the last one is going to be malaria medication during the rainy season. But the 4th one is only if we have additional dollars left, kind of thing. And so if you look, Salam, at that whole matrix that I provided, that spreadsheet to you,
Yeah.
on the right-hand side, there's a column that says Salam's notes. And if in there you can document the price and where you're going to get it from, that would be amazing. On all of those items, there's only maybe 10 or 12 or 15 items, I think.
Okay.
But those are the things that will travel weekly to health hubs as they treat people.
Great. I'll do that.
Okay. And then the other thing we need to do, if we're going to do a pilot, is we're not going to drill boreholes for the pilots. We're going to use boreholes we've already put in.
Yeah.
And so the other thing we'll need to do is identify the loop of 2, because we're going to do 2 to start, 2 to pilot. We're going to do a loop of those 2 that are, I think we decided, outside of Gushy Goo Town, because we've done so much there, that it'll be outside of that area, 2 wells that we've put in that are close in proximity and relatively close to Tamale.
Okay.
And then is what we'll need to do is begin to look at, and I apologize for maybe not being culturally sensitive. I don't know the exact terms, but we're going to need to talk to the elders or the chiefs to get that land deeded to give basic needs.
Okay.
And then in the paper, I said the well and a circumference around it, so that we can build right next to it, essentially, the health hub room or rooms by the village members. Does that make sense, Salam?
Yes. So I think we'll just identify some of those boreholes.
Yeah.
And 2 of them in 2 communities, and then we can do that.
Yeah, and then we get the deed, and then I think I said like 350 square meters around the well, or whatever I said. I don't know if that's valid or not. I just threw a number out so that we have because ideally, if I was to think 5 years from now, I would hope that each of these health hubs would just keep adding rooms and nurses. Right? So we want to have a piece of land that's big enough that not only includes the well for the wash and the sanitation, but so that if we start with 1 building that the village puts in, we could expand to 5 rooms at some point, or 10 rooms with 2 nurses, or 4 nurses, or whatever. Whatever the demand is, we can have essentially at some point more than 1 RN. Because the RN entrepreneur is essentially a franchisee of Give Basic Needs in that location. And they're going to receive a capital grant that comes with all of these medications, a bundle of medications, and they're going to have the operations room, and it's going to be built with solar so they have power and whatever. No cold chain. We have to be really clear about that, because that's an energy resource that will drain us. So if in the future they want to expand and do cold storage, that's fine, but that's on them as an entrepreneur.
That's understood.
Do those action items make sense for you, Salam?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So first off, I think typhoid is just the major issue. For hepatitis B vaccines, our current supplier supplies some. So for him, I can reach out to him. It's typhoid. So typhoid, I'll work with Warahana on establishing that supply chain.
Yeah.
And also I'll work with Ben to identify locations for the pilot of the the two health hubs.
Yes. That's
Yes,
perfect.
and
Yeah, I think that's a great start. And then if you can just look through the, you know, when you talk to these suppliers, make sure you make them realize that this is the tip of the iceberg. We're going to be buying a lot of supplies if they're the cheapest. If they're not, and we're dealing with commodities, we're going to move to the next supplier because we're not here to fool around.
Let's just not get ahead of ourselves and just.
I'm just saying, when you talk to the suppliers, make sure they understand that this is not like 5 treatments. We're talking about
Yeah.
hundreds.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good, Salam. Benny, do you have any thoughts on all of that?
No, I think I'm okay with all that. Yeah.
Okay, great. And Warahana?
No, I'm also okay.
I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, I don't have anything else.
Right. Salam, do you have anything else to chat about?
No, I think my concerns have been addressed, and I'm okay.
Excellent. Good. Benny, how about you?
I think I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay. Take some time, think about, what we talked about, your position and where exactly you want it to go. And
Yeah, sure.
good. And reach out, we'll see everyone in the meeting on Sunday, but if you have, sorry, Warahana, did you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, reach out in the meantime if you have any questions. If not, we'll see you on Sunday.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
sure.
Great. And if you have
Bye-bye.
questions and discussions, please use Discord so that everybody can see them.
All right.
Okay, sure.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Great meeting.
Yeah.
Sorry it was a long one.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of
Bye-bye.
your day.
Bye-bye.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.